been years since duelists have been able to show what they're made of on the big stage in Japan. But the time has finally come for the best of the best to go head-to-head against each other once again in an in-person event. Only a select few have shown that they have what it takes to even qualify for this humongous opportunity, and the stage has been set. Wait, what do you mean you haven't qualified yet? I mean, I guess there is still one more chance for you to reach the big leagues. Oh well, looks like the perfect opportunity for me to make a tier list. Here are the best decks you should use to have the best chance of being able to top the RRQ and represent your region in Japan later this year. Alright YouTube, we're here. Yeah, very self-explanatory tiers, most tops, a few tops, one handful of tops, no representation at all, and apparently these are the decks that the community, I suppose, have chosen to be representative of the meta, I guess. Yeah, we'll go through each deck and I'll give you my thoughts. Abyss Actors, one handful of tops, maybe. Probably no representation. I want to be safe by giving them one top, just because they can play sealed teams very well, countering Orchest, obviously. BA next. No representation at all. BA is not doing anything right now at all. Block Dragon the same. Really not going to do anything. Okay, interesting one. Trickstars. A lot of people, in my opinion, have underrated this deck a little bit. So for that reason, I mean, I guess not for that reason. In my opinion, I think they'll get a handful of tops. I don't think they're not doing anything right now. And I guess, in the same vein, Chronomaly, I don't think they're going to get too many tops. There'll be between 1 and 5 Chronomalies in the top few decks. Alright, moving on to Salad Code Talkers. It's not doing anything right now. It's been nerfed quite a bit. Worse than actually pure Salad, in my opinion. Next up, DDD. This will get a few tops. Or would it get a handful? It's not doing a lot in tournaments right now, which makes me want to put it in a handful. Because tournaments pretty much mimic the RRQ, aside from the speed factor, and I don't think DDDs are a very particularly fast deck. I'm going to put them in a handful of tops, not going to be a lot. Next up, DM, not going to be represented at all. It's not doing anything right now, same as Cosmo. Metal Foes literally can't do anything with the amount of Cosmic Cyclone running around in the meta. Next up, we have Odd Eyes Orchest. Lately, in the past week or two, has been getting quite a bit more play. I'm in the situation that I played this deck quite early, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, when Orchest first came out, and I was not a fan of this deck, but maybe the way people are running it these days, in the past week, makes it better. I don't know, I haven't watched a lot of gameplay of this deck. To be safe, I'm going to put it in a few tops, just because Orchest is very powerful. So is Odd Eyes. I think Odd Eyes going to be one of the most tops. I guess we can get Orchest and Odd Eyes. Pure version of each of these decks are going to have the most tops, no questions. Orchest is, I mean, Odd Eyes specifically is a very fast deck, probably the fastest deck of the meta right now. So it's going to be able to churn out a lot of games in this format of RRQ. And obviously Orchest is the best deck without question. I don't think mixing the two is better than each of them on their own. Yeah, not much more to say about the two best decks of the format. It's pretty self-explanatory. Next up we got Vision Heroes. Not doing anything. It's just not enough. Sunrise Pop doesn't do enough against Orchest. Backra's not enough against Odd Eyes. Yeah, not doing a lot. Onomats... There's gonna be one guy I think that tops with Onomat here. I think. Otherwise, I would probably put it in no representation. It's a very bad deck. Odd Eyes is just way better at doing everything that it does. Any other Orchest variant, it'll get a handful. I guess it'll get a few tops. Random Orchest variants like Gandora, I think will get a few tops. More than a handful. PK will not get any tops. Raid Raptors. I myself have undervalued this deck. I think Raid Raptors are pretty good. I've seen in this past week, the turn one's pretty good and a lot more consistent since they got their new support in the latest box. Raid Raptors will get a handful of tops. Resonators. I want to say they get no tops. But they're probably in the same boat as Onomats. There'll be one guy that tops with Resonators. I'll play that safe and put it as one top. Rockets, not the greatest deck. I mean, compared to Odd Eyes or Orchest, it's quite a bit below them. It'll get a few tops. It'll be pretty well represented in the RRQ. Rose Dragon. A lot of people don't agree with me on this one. I have voiced my opinions on Rose Dragon. I think it's pretty good. It'll get a handful. Salad will get 0 representation. And by the way, guys, the order of these within their respective tiers doesn't really matter, except obviously Orcus being the best deck. I haven't really put much thought into the power level of these decks within their own tiers. Alright, S-Force. Pretty good deck. Pretty good deck. There'll be a handful of S-Forces in the top, I think. Sulfur Cord will be a handful as well. Sulfur Cord's pretty good in the meta right now, but for the RRQ event specifically, I don't think it'll get a lot. It'll get a handful. Speedroids will get a few tops. It's also a very fast deck. It's just not as good as Odd Eyes, but it's pretty good. Turn one's pretty good. Just struggle with going second a little bit. But if they can play through a few things, they'll do pretty well. Starry Night, I don't know why this is on the list. It's not doing anything right now with August in the meta. Starry Night's just not it. I could do stuff against Odd Eyes, I suppose, but not a whole lot else. And Rocket, I suppose. Like, it's got actually pretty good matchups against the third and second best deck, but the best deck, August, it does struggle against a lot. Is it what? Is this Hero Alliance? I think this is Hero Alliance. I don't think it's good enough. This is probably the toughest one between no representation and a handful. I want to say it's gonna get no representation. Like, Super Poly is really good. Just don't know if it's enough in this heavy Orchest meta. Like, Orchest has elevated the power level of this game immensely. I don't think Super Poly searchable is good enough against it specifically. Maybe against other decks, but there's gonna be too much Orchest. Next up, Synchrons. I think they're gonna sneak through like last time. I'm tempted to even put them in a few tops. But I'll play it safe and put it in a handful of tops for Synchrons. A World Chalice will get no representation, and the old Odd Eyes is not doing anything. It's not good enough at all. I'm sorry. And that is my list. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah. So, brief recap of everything now that they're all in their places. Orca's best deck, Odd Eyes second best deck, especially in this format, it's very fast. Rocket, very good deck, not good enough for having the most tops. Orcust variants, obviously anything with Orcust is pretty good. Odd Eyes Orcust as one deck, not good enough as any of the two on their own. Speedroid is very fast, in the same vein as Odd Eyes, so, but just not as good. A few tops for them. Abyss Actors using Seal Tunes, very good. The Explosive Turn 1 of Trickstars, pretty good. Chronomaly, just an all-around okay deck. DDD is similar, just a okay deck. Counters Orcus fine, but not good enough to have a lot of tops. Resonators, probably one of the weakest decks on here, along with Automats. These two are I think I'm the most tempted to move down to no representation. Raid Raptors, turn 1 great, turn 2 not so great. Same thing with Roach Dragon. Same thing with S-Force, their turn 1's really good, turn 2 not so much. Same thing with this, same thing with Synchrons. I think Synchrons might break the skill again somehow with what's that called? A card called that everybody's using nowadays? Electric Virus, that's the one. And then not much to say about these guys, they're just not going to see any representation, they're not good enough in this meta, in the format of the RRQ. And that's my list. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Also, I will be trying to stream. I don't think I can stream every day. I'll probably stream 2 of the 3 days of stage 2. Yeah, I'll be doing my run on Twitch. Link in the description. Yes, in the description. See ya.